Bonk's Adventure, known as PC Jinjin in Japan, PC Kid, and BC Kid in Europe, is a side-scrolling platform game developed by Red Company and Atlas and released in 1989 in Japan and 1990 in North America for the PC Engine Turbografx 16. The Japanese title PC Jinjin is a play on the system's original name PC Engine, with the European title PC Kid similarly referencing the system's name. The first game in the Bonk series, it was followed by 2 more games for the Turbografx 16 before branching out to other platforms. Bonk's Adventure was ported to the NES and Amiga, as well being released as coin-operated arcade game under different titles: FC Jinjin and BC Jinjin in Japan, and BC Kid in Europe. A completely different game with the same name and characters appeared on the Game Boy in late 1992 under the title GB Jinjin in Japan. Plot of the game. The game takes place in a fictional prehistoric era. Its protagonist, Bonk, a strong and bald cave boy who battles anthropomorphic dinosaurs and other prehistoric enemies. Bonk's mission is to rescue Princess Za, a small pink plesiosaur-type reptile who has been kidnapped by the evil King Drool, a large green Tyrannosaurus-type dinosaur. In the arcade version, Bonk is also assisted by a female version of himself. Gameplay. Bonk attacks enemies by bonking them with his large invincible forehead. Bonk starts the game with 3 hearts worth of health, which are depleted to blue as Bonk takes damage, and 3 extra lives. Bonk's health can be restored in increments by collecting fruits and vegetables. Bonk can also collect pieces of meat as power-ups. These lend him special abilities and make him stronger. There are 3 stages of power-up: his normal self, a second stage during which he can stun enemies by pounding on the ground, and a third stage where he becomes temporarily invulnerable. Meat can be found in 2 varieties: big meat and small meat. The effects of meat are additive but wear off over time. A small meat gives Bonk the second stage of meat power, and a large one takes him to stage 3. Eating small meat while in stage 2 will also put Bonk into the third invincible stage of meat power. When the third stage effect wears off, he returns to the second state and remains there for a while before turning back to the regular Bonk. Eating either size of meat while in the third stage of meat power-up will reset the timer on Bonk's meat power. Bonk can occasionally collect red heart power-ups that refill an entire heart worth of health, or even more rarely, a large red heart, which restores all of Bonk's missing health. There are also 2 rare blue heart power-ups in the game, which will increase Bonk's maximum health by 1 heart. Bonking an enemy will typically knock it backward and slightly into the air. Defeating an enemy yields points and also releases a small smiley power-up. Bonk smileys are totaled at the end of each stage after defeating the boss of that stage. The player is given additional points and a caveman-type congratulation based on how many smileys were collected. The arcade version is much different. At the beginning of the game, the player can choose from one of the 28 different levels. Unlike the console versions, the levels are extremely short, and the goal is to get to the end as quickly as possible while trying to get a high score. There are various sports items in the stages, like basketballs and footballs. As long as Bonk continues to dribble these items, the player will get bonus points. There is a goalpost at the end of each level, which grants more points if Bonk hits it at its apex. After completing 3 stages, the player gets to choose from one of 7 boss battles. There are no power-ups in this version. Instead, there are smiley faces, which attach themselves to Bonk's forehead and can be used to absorb enemy projectiles or extend the length of Bonk's attacks. However, if Bonk gets hit once, he will lose all of his smiley faces, and he'll have to pick them up again. This version of the game also includes a 2-player mode, where player 2 plays as a female Bonk. The game can be set up to dispense tickets, and the ticket payouts can be adjusted by the operator. Development. The character of Bonk was created by Kabuta Aoki and first appeared in comics created for the magazine Gekken PC Engine in order to promote the console in Japan. In Japanese, PC Jinjin sounds like PC Engine, and the PC stands for Pithecanthropus computerus, a pun on Pithecanthropus erectus. It is generally called PC Kid in English, as he was meant to be NEC's mascot at the time. Later, when the game was ported or given different versions for other platforms, it was renamed accordingly, like FC Kid, after Family Computer, the original Japanese name for the NES, and the FC stood for Freakathorpus Computerus. GB Kid, after the Game Boy, or the more generic BC Kid in some other versions, including Amiga. In North America, this was scrapped, as the game name is always Bonk's Adventure or something similar. Reception. Entertainment Weekly picked the game as the number 3 greatest game available in 1991, saying it is much fun to watch and play at the same time. In 1997, Electronic Gaming Monthly editors ranked the Turbografx 16 version as number 85 on their 100 best games of all time, citing its imaginative level designs and hilarious player character. Computer and Video Games reviewed BC Kid for the Amiga and scored it 93% in 1992. Tim Boone praised the original PC Kid for the PC Engine as being among his, quote, all-time fave console games, and said the Amiga port was a faithful conversion, but with a different title. While praising the original PC Engine version, however, the reviewer criticized the American Turbografx 16 version for being titled Bonk, which is an appropriate slang in British English. Legacy. In 2003, Hudson Soft included a 3D remake of Bonk's Adventure in their Hudson Selection series of games, released exclusively in Japan for the PlayStation 2 and GameCube consoles. Factor 5, developers of the Amiga port, have made the Amiga version of BC Kid available for free through their company website. The Turbografx 16 version was released for Wii's Virtual Console on November 22, 2006, and according to informal studies, it has been one of the most purchased games. In March of 2008, a version for mobile phones was released in Japan. Hudson was developing a reboot of the franchise entitled Bonk, Brink of Extinction for WiiWare and PlayStation Network, but the project was later canceled when Hudson was closed. Bonk's Adventure was released on the Virtual Console for Wii U on July 14, 2016, in its Turbografx 16 form. The PC version of the game, fully in Japanese, was included on every regional variant of the Turbografx 16 Mini, which was released exclusively through Amazon on March 19, 2020. All information in the video today was provided by Wikipedia.